When I get up in the morning, I ask myself, do you want to be depressed today or do you want to live happy? And I choose to live happy. Understand, if you're going to be happy, you have to be happy on purpose. Happiness is not going to fall on you. We're not going to wake up every morning and think, oh wow, I want to be happy today. No, some mornings we're going to wake up and think, nobody better get in my way. I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like cleaning the house. I don't feel like driving in this traffic. Some mornings we wake up grouchy. And if we get in agreement with those thoughts and we start dwelling on how we feel and what we don't have and all of our problems, we may not realize it, but we're choosing to have a lousy day. That's paving the way for defeat, discouragement, mediocrity.
I believe it starts with just taking time each morning to appreciate and feel grateful for all the amazing gifts that you already have right now around you in your life. You already have an amazing life.
Here's the key. When you wake up in the morning, you cannot wait to see what kind of day you're going to have. You have to decide what kind of day you're going to have. In other words, don't wait to see how you feel, what kind of mood your spouse is in, what the traffic's like, and what the stock market's doing. No, right when you get out of bed, you need to make a declaration right then and there. This is going to be a great day. I'm excited about my future. Something good is going to happen to me today. That is setting the tone for a blessed, prosperous, happy day.
As soon as you open up your eyes in the morning or whenever it is that you start the day, as soon as you open up your eyes to greet the day, you enter into consciousness. It is at that moment that your creativity is at its most powerful. Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you.
There's nothing you can do. Just get up, start your morning, and start to win the day. There's this quote, it's win the morning and you win the day. A lot of us aren't doing that. So your morning rituals, and you do it consistently, is what's setting you up to win the day.
So if you will accept that when you wake up, your potential for being there is there, and you will just stop and say, it's a good day, or the bed feels really good, or this could be fun. Just something that sort of acknowledges that you're there. We promise you, do that tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. In about 30 days, we will not be having this conversation.
You can change your life, but it starts with your choices. So today, commit to make at least one choice that will change your life, or at least begin that change, so you can live the way you want to live.
You know, I wake up every day and I think, isn't this great? I'm as happy every day as I was the day before. The difference between successful people and people that struggle are successful people exude joy. If you're miserable and nobody wants to spend time with you, how are you ever going to get ahead?
Today, what I want you to do is I want you to commit that you're not going to complain about your job. You're not going to complain about the life that you're living right now, but what you will do instead is that you're going to make a choice that you will not end today without doing at least one thing that can take you closer to living the life that you desire to live.
Most of the time, we have what we need to be happy, we just don't have the right perspective. For instance, you may not be happy at the job you're at right now. But if for some reason you were to lose that job and you went months and months without any income, and then one day you were able to get that same job back, most likely you would be extremely happy. You had what you needed to be happy, you just didn't realize it. I know people that are perfectly healthy, but they're never really happy. It's always something bothering them. They want a bigger house or a better job. But if they were to lose their health and then regain it, I'm sure they would be thrilled. They have what they need to be happy. Keep the right perspective. Every one of us has something even right now to be happy about. Our health, our job, our family, and opportunity.
I want you to repeat after me. I am in control of my life. I am powerful beyond my imagination. I am limitless in my potential. I have control of my life. I will choose to be great because I am great. I have greatness inside me. I am powerful beyond measure. I am more powerful than other people give me credit for. I am more powerful than I currently believe. But I will achieve greatness. I am in control of my mind. I am in control of my thoughts. I am in control of my life. I get to choose whatever I want, and I choose greatness.
Morning is the beginning of something fresh and something new. And many of us spend all of our time dragging stuff that we should have put to bed the night before, the day before, the week before, and pronounce a benediction upon it. But what do? We drag it, and the next morning is the same drama. I always say, do different, get different. And when it comes to you commending your morning, you've got to understand that the morning also brings light to something when the concepts that you are dealing with is difficult.
Every single person has a choice at every single moment. It may be just varying degrees of difficulty in those choices, but you always have a choice. You can always change.
You put in 120% every time, or you don't put in nothing, because listen to me very closely. Today, this opportunity you have, it might not be here next year. It might not be here the year after next. It might not be here the year after that. This is the only moment you got, and you better take advantage of this particular moment.
And in regards to laziness, I think it's a very important thing to understand that as humans, we have this ability to think that everything we experience, all the emotions, are very much unique to us. But you have to understand that every single person in the world suffers from the same problems. Everyone is by default lazy. It is the easiest thing to do. It requires no energy, no effort.
Time is not going to wait. So if you have 24 hours in a day and you're spending 16 at work, and if you have that one extra hour, whether it's you going through your social media, watching TV, spend it in the gym. Spend it on becoming better.
It's such an important thing to realize that every single person, me included, and every successful person you could think of, Elon Musk, he probably also would find it easy to be lazy, but he chooses not to be. It's a choice. It's an understanding that being lazy is just easy, and you don't want to take the easy path. The path of least resistance, the path that requires no effort, no energy.
In the beginning, everybody's excited. In the beginning, everybody's going to become a billionaire. In the beginning, everybody's going to conquer the world. But after a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years, they start to get tired. They start to get frustrated. They start to ask, why is this so hard? They start to ask, why is this so hard for me? And they think it's just them, and they think the whole universe is coming down on them. And that's when people quit. And guys, we all feel that way. We all have times of frustration. We all have times of anger. We all have times of why me? Why is this so hard for me? But at the end of the day, guys, when you start feeling that massive frustration, that massive anger, that massive irritation and massive stress, you are about to have a breakthrough. You are about to move through an area that most people can't make it through. And you've just got to keep moving. Because when you make it through that area, that's when shit gets fun. That's when you say, oh, man, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually an entrepreneur.
Everybody feels lazy and demotivated, but it's the people who succeed are the ones who identify that first, and then the ones who start fighting it, and then the ones who figure out how to continue fighting it for the rest of their lives without falling back.
You got to be in command of your own schedule if you want to be the best. Look at your schedule now. Pull it out. Look at your everyday life. Where are you spending your time? Is it more performance oriented, or are you preparing for that day of performance? Or are you waiting for somebody to choose you? I don't want any waiting. I want practice, performance, training. Look at your schedule. It's a very simple exercise.
I tell you this, if success was just a joyride, there would be far more successful people. There's a reason that not many people achieve what they want to do and live the lives they really want to do, because it requires, you know, hard work is one thing, but it requires you to conquer yourself. You are the only one stopping yourself from doing whatever the hell it is that you want to do. There will always be excuses. You can always point fingers at someone else and say someone else has it better. At the end of the day, it's you who chooses to watch TV, to watch YouTube, to browse Facebook when you know you should be doing something else. Close those browsers. Turn the TV off. Go do something that you normally wouldn't. Start leading an unusual life. Don't fall into your patterns, your lazy habit. You gotta keep breaking the pattern, the routines, keeping things on the edge, changing your surroundings, always kind of like figuring out how to resist that urge to just like settle down and sit your ass down and lay down on the couch and just mindlessly watch Netflix.
That's so important in this life. This life doesn't have enough of that. There's not enough struggle. You don't get to know yourself without struggle. You don't get to know your boundaries unless you push them. You don't get to know who you are really unless you're tested.
If you sacrifice and make the sacrifices each day, then you'll see the gains, man. It's all about a mindset. It's all about sacrificing and being willing to go through what it takes, you know? And when I say that, I'm talking about discipline, the desire, the determination, the dedication. Don't be lazy. You're not gonna go far in life if you choose not to practice.
If you have discipline, if you have willpower, the more you use them, the stronger they get.
You're spectacular. You're all capable of being world beaters. You transform yourself into something that's articulated and sensible and grounded in history and knowledgeable and wise, man. You can do anything you want, and hopefully anything you want for good.
Ask yourself, like, how bad do you want to try living an extraordinary life? You have one shot. Why not give it your all? Why not fight that urge not to, take the risk, not to do the things that you feel uncomfortable with doing? It's the only way forward. You've done, do it for yourself. You have to understand that nobody gives a shit about what you do with your life. And I don't mean this in a rude way. Someone sees my success, they'll be like, oh, they'll forget about it in a few seconds and start thinking about their own problems again. That's how the world works. Everybody's kind of centered around themselves. So you gotta find the energy every single day to do it for yourself, not for the rest of the world, because they don't care. Everybody else is focused on their own problems and their own life. They'll give you a little bit of attention, but they'll go right back to their own.
And along your journey in becoming great at anything, you're gonna have these curves appear over and over and over again. But you have to keep in mind, guys, things are the hardest right before they get better. Things are the most frustrating right before they get better. Things are the worst right before they get better. And it's hard to remember that when you're going through it. It's hard to remember that when you owe every single creditor, when your wife or husband's yelling at you for spending too much time at work, or too much time in the weight room, or too much time on this or that or whatever. It's hard to remember that things are gonna get better, but they are, and this is part of the process, and all of us go through these little curves. We all do it. And guys, it's the ones who understand that things are going to improve and keep focused on the end result that make it through these curves. when you start focusing on how bad everything and how frustrated you are and how angry you are and how tough it is really easy to talk yourself into quitting. But when you keep in mind why you started, when you keep in mind what your goals are, when you keep in mind what it is you're trying to accomplish, and you keep those things, at the forefront of your brain, written down everywhere you see anything, and you think about them and focus on them a day in and day out basis, guys, your chances of making it through these frustration curves increases tremendously. So learn how to control your focus, learn how to think about what the end result is, learn how to use the natural momentum and energy you have to accelerate the process of learning, but also know that the grind and the grit and the toughest, darkest parts of any journey are right before shit gets fun.
Listen, you're watching this video now. If you're feeling lazy or demotivated, go do something. Go for a run. Go do something that you typically wouldn't do, and see the little emotions that start following that kind of action when you break through. Like, that is what success is fighting against those instincts of taking it easy and living a comfortable life. Success is a difficult choice, and it's not like you achieve it and then it's easy. No, I fight myself every single day. I feel that's what life is all about, is figuring out how to battle those lazy kind of instincts of just taking it easy, chilling, and realizing that achieving and experiencing the most beautiful things in life requires you going upstream and not just flowing mindlessly downstream.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they?
Today is the day for you to learn the secrets of life. Today is a day for you to begin creating a joyous, fulfilling life. How do you feel right now? Do you feel bad? What are your current emotions? What is your gut feeling? Some people say life sucks, which is a terrible affirmation. But it isn't life that sucks, it's your thinking that sucks. Don't waste time arguing for your limitations, poor relationships, problems, illnesses, poverty, etc. The more you talk about the problem, the more you anchor it in place. Don't blame others for your problems. It's just another waste of time.
Like attracts like.
I mean, you attract, not just what you feel, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract.
When you change your thinking process, then everything in your life will also change. You will be amazed and delighted to see how people, places, things, and circumstances can change.
You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet, and you got to understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Today is the day to begin to release all your limitations. You can change your life for the better. You already have the tools within you to do this. These tools are your thoughts and your beliefs. An affirmation is really anything you say or think. A lot of what we normally say and think is quite negative and does not create good experiences for us. We have to retrain our thinking and speaking into positive patterns if we want to change our lives. An affirmation opens the way. It is a beginning point of change. In essence, you are saying to your subconscious mind, I am taking responsibility. I am aware that there is something I can do to change. When I talk about doing affirmations, I mean to consciously choose words that will either help to eliminate something from your life or help to create something new in your life. Every thought you think and every word you speak is an affirmation. All our self-talk is a stream of affirmations. You are using affirmations every moment, whether you know it or not. You are affirming and creating your life experiences with every word and every thought. Your beliefs are merely habitual thinking patterns that you learned as a child. Many of them work very well for you. Other beliefs may be limiting your ability to create the very things you may say you want. What you want and what you believe you deserve may be very different. You need to pay attention to your thoughts so you can begin to eliminate the ones that are creating experiences that you do not want in your life. Please realize that every complaint is an affirmation of something you think you don't want in your life. Every time you get angry, you are affirming that you want more anger in your life. Every time you feel like a victim, you are affirming that you want to continue to feel like a victim. If you feel that life does not give you what you want in your world, then it is certain you will never have the goodies that life gives to others. Until you change the way you think and talk. You are not a bad person for thinking the way you do. You have just never learned how to think and talk. The world is just now beginning to learn that our thoughts create our experiences. Your parents probably didn't know this, so they could not possibly teach it to you. They taught you how to look at life in the way that their parents taught them. So nobody is wrong. However, it is time for all of us to wake up and to begin to consciously create our lives in a way that pleases and supports us. You can do it, I can do it, we can all do it. You just need to learn how. Affirmations are like seeds planted in soil. Poor soil, poor growth. Rich soil, abundant growth. The more you can choose to think thoughts that make you feel good, the quicker the affirmations work. Think happy thoughts. It's that simple, and it is doable. The way you choose to think right now is just that, a choice. You may not realize it because you have thought this way for so long, but it really is a choice. Now, today, this moment, you can choose to change your thinking. It won't turn around overnight, but if you are consistent and daily make the choice to think thoughts that make you feel good, you will definitely make positive changes in every area of your life. I awaken each morning with blessings and gratitude for the wonderful life I lead, and I make the choice to think happy thoughts no matter what others are doing. The only moment you ever live is this moment. This moment is the only time you have any control over. If we won't choose to feel good in this moment, then how can we create future moments that are abundant and fun? How do you feel right now? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? What are your current emotions? What is your gut feeling? Would you like to feel better? Then reach for a better feeling thought. If you feel bad in any way, sad, grumpy, bitter, resentful, angry, fearful, guilty, depressed, jealous, critical, etc., then you have temporarily lost your connection to the flow of good experiences that the universe has waiting for you. Don't waste your thoughts on blame. No person, place, or thing has any control over your feelings. because they do not think in your mind. It is also why you really have no control over others, because you cannot control their thoughts. No one can control another unless that person gives permission. So you want to be aware of this powerful mind you have. You can take total control over your own thinking. It is the only thing you will ever have total control of. What you choose to think is what you will get in life. What kind of thoughts make you feel good? Thoughts of love, appreciation, gratitude, remembering joyful experiences, thinking of good things you would like to have happen in the future, rejoicing that you are alive, blessing your body with love, and enjoying this moment and looking forward to tomorrow. Thinking these kinds of thoughts is an act of loving yourself, and loving yourself creates miracles in your life. It is a focal point to begin changing your thinking. Affirmative statements are going beyond the reality of the present into the creation of the future by the words you use in the now. When you choose to say, "I am very prosperous," you may have very little money in the bank at the moment. What you are doing is planting seeds for future prosperity. Each time you repeat it, you are affirming the seeds you have planted in the atmosphere of your mind. That is why you want it to be a happy atmosphere. Things grow much quicker in fertile, rich soil. It is important for you to always say your affirmations in present tense. I have or I am. So when you catch a negative thought, just think to yourself, "This is an old thought. I no longer choose to think that way." Then find a positive thought to substitute for it as quickly as you can. Remember, you want to feel good as much as possible. Thoughts of bitterness, resentment, blame, and guilt make you feel miserable. And that is a habit you really want to release. Affirmations are solutions that will replace whatever problem you might have. Whenever you have a problem, repeat over and over, "All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe." This simple affirmation will work miracles in your life. Go over this section several times until you really get the principles and can live them. Also zero in on the sections that may have the most meaning to you and practice the affirmations. And remember to make up affirmations of your own. The first affirmations for you to use right now are, "I can do it. I can feel good about myself. I can make positive changes in my life."